Alright, so I think I fixed the sound issues. We'll see if it holds true. Fingers crossed. So, plan is padoop, 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 shoop, doop, e-whoop. No, it's shoop a doop a doop a doop a doop. We doop. What doop a doop. If I recall correctly. I could be horribly wrong about that, but okay, so we do not have enough fuel to continue exploring the vast depths of space, of the skies, sorry. But I don't think it'll be an issue. We should have plenty enough to get us to our next destination. And we'll also pick up whatever goodies we can get at the other location. Thank you, Mr. Whole thing. There you go. Got rid of it. That's probably the only complaint I have about this game, really, is that sometimes graphics linger. But it doesn't happen all that often, and you can typically avoid it if you know what you're doing. If I could get a mining tool, that'd be sweet. No, I probably want a canyon and a seine. Mining is all well and good, but it's not really very useful, if you know what I'm saying. But then I've never had it, so maybe there's more events that can happen from mining. I don't know. Probably. Alright. Oh yeah, we have plenty of fuel. Mit Avon with time to spare. See, that rotated me just right. I meant to do that. I meant to hit that outcrop. All part of the plan. A quiet day. Let's buy cheap fuel. I've got plenty of exotic gossip. Like oodles of it. Get that port report. I'll just get a vision of the heavens. Don't really need to do, I suppose. The nowhere in. Let's appreciate an amount of cider. Holy cow. Okay, a taste of golden sun and fields of left behind. Another! You must have another! The second tastes even better. The third? Well, you don't remember the third one very well. Perhaps in addition there was a fourth and a fifth. You wake behind one of the trees of the orchard, its hard bark against your cheek. You dimly remember singing something inappropriate and dark looks from the other patrons. Perhaps you remember climbing on a table, but to what end? Goodness, the stars are very bright, aren't they? Very bright indeed. Like bright little needles. Ouch. Alright then. Alright. Let's read a work of speculative fiction. The Vacant Throne. Gained a sky story. Alright, well, fair enough. We're just gonna buy these because money is money. And we're off again. Hello, Mr. Monitor. So we finally figured out the cheat that we can use these missions, these delivery missions, to pinpoint location. Because if you're lucky here, it gives you directions. Oh, you can't see my finger, but it gives you directions. Mr. Tackety Scout. Should be Reichstead. Alright, we made it back. And in enough time to do the Victory Hall shenanigans. Alright, so we're going to deliver our port reports to this guy. Get me some more Savage Secrets. Let's get one more. They're useful things. Otherworldly artifact. Sure, we'll get an otherworldly artifact. I probably don't need any more of those. And we're going to trade favor to increase our Tactics. Gain our reputation. Because if we become a hero to the Tactics, that could count as a monumental event thing, which we need. Alright. I'm going to sell those, sell these. Cage Catch is too valuable to get rid of. It just is. I have 2 of them though. So we're going to sell 1. That'll do it. Alright. Real quick, because we're going to go to Palmyra and Plenty. This port sells supplies, so we're going to need to stock up on a lot of fuel. I'm going to buy a lot more fuel than I typically do. Just oodles more. That'll do. Let's explore the city. Let's repair the locomotive. Fully repair the hull. Back to the station. Let's investigate this black box real quick. So we can consult with an academic, try and pick the lock ourselves, sell it as a curiosity. So let's consult with an academic. Let's see. The academic is wild-haired and scatterbrained, but his expertise is undeniable. He provides a wild hypothesis. We know that judgments, the sons, made the laws that govern all things. These laws are enforced most vigorously wherever their light can reach, but a container like this might thwart their sight. If I wanted to exclude something from certain laws of the heavens, I would hide it in a box like this. Alright, let's consider what we want to do with it. Oh yeah, it's just going through all these options. So I could try to pick the lock, but I think I'll actually deliver it next time I'm in the thing in London. I don't have a monumentous exploit yet. Nothing else going on here. So we're making excellent time. So we're gonna go to Palmer and Plenty, finish that quest, head on to Hybras, and then Peter and Steinrod. First things first, Palmer and Plenty. Seven fuel should be enough to get me all the way through. Should be. Yep, and it should be a straight shot from here. Barring any unforeseen hooliganry. Ooh, homestead. Trade a sky story for supplies. Yeah, let's trade a sky story for supplies. I got plenty of sky stories and they'll save me a little bit of money. Alright, final quest. Come off it. How do I mess up a normal approach like that? I don't know. But we made it. New arrivals. Listen to their stories. Yep. Inconceivable circus. Let's get some more free tickets. Because we're part of the family. Let's write that port report. Go behind the tents. Reunite the acrobatic twins. I wondered when we see each other again. One twin remarks to the other. The other replies, "How did you know I returned? You always have before. I'm glad you're alright." They wander off, each catching up with the other as to what has passed in their time apart. Alright. Let's attend a performance. The big top is filled. The audience chatters in anticipation when the lights dim and the ringmaster is drawn into the center of the ring on his horse-drawn calliope, singing of the night's delights. The applause is rapturous. Then come the acts. The magician appears from a puff of smoke, dazzling the crowd with his amazing devices. The acrobatic twins swing from their trapeze, figures of perfect symmetry as they go back and forth. The clown, geese, da-da-da-da-da-da. Oh, so every single time it upgrades the number of sky stories I get from this. Let's see if I can talk to... Alright. Everybody's happy again. Well, we've successfully completed every single piece of that quest. Now, it's time for a moment of reflection and another facet. Really want some mirrors. So I would think that a facet of my life was that I definitely went out as a settler. I think that makes a lot of sense. But I'd also like to get my veils up a little bit. No way to do that. Besides going mad, which I don't feel like doing. So let's just say I was a settler. For a time you lived the hand-to-mouth existence of a homesteader, carving a home on the frontier of the Reach. A hard-scrabble existence, scratched from the sky a month at a time. The Reach is verdant, but its homesteads cling to tiny exposed sky rocks. Most fail. In the end, what drove you back to the skies? One bad season. That's all it takes. One harvest where the crops will grow weeping tumors or venomous nodules. One bad wind that rips a house from its mooring. But it makes more sense that it would be predators, marauders, monsters, the merciless tides of the Winchester War. You fought as long as you could. It makes more sense there. So, rolling on with the story is I'd be more of a... I had a decent upbringing, good mentors, but I left home to become a settler, see the skies for what they are. That didn't go so well thanks to the Winchester War, where I joined the side of the Tacketies and fought them off. I dare say I've been haunted by it even. I despise the soot and grime of London, and I wish never more to return. I have gallivanted across the skies, one of the first through the door. I did well scarred in the war, and my family does not agree with my choice of profession. That's one thing I love about like the facets is how they just like open up the storytelling aspect. Like it adds so much more to your captain. Like they're not just like a picture. They have a history that you've crafted. You try to line up all the things to make them make sense, and it just I just like it. I like it a lot. Alright. We're headed to Hybras. Honestly, I think these things get bigger. Because this passageway seems to get narrower every single time I come through here. I don't know if that's just like a trick of my mind, or if that's actually happening. Either one is honestly plausible to me. Ow. Minimal damage, but let's explore the captain's cabin. More gossip. I can trade that in a plethora of places. Now then, I could explore the Tears Fall, or Faith's Fall, but I don't want to. It's one of those things where it's like I don't really have a pressing reason to, so I'm not going to. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I do want to explore it at some point, but maybe... Okay. I was just waiting for him to sprout tentacles. Taxi scout way out here is kind of odd. You don't typically see them this far. Shore leave. Let's search for bronzewood splinters. Hey, we got some bronzewood. Collect a sample of Hybras pus. Alright. Let's write that port report. Never know. And somehow there's still a spiffer selling souls. Well, I don't have any need of souls in particular. Alright. I think I've got time to gun it to Leadbeater and Steinrod. So we're gonna go for Leadbeater and Steinrod. Let's get that done. We shall see how that all pans out for us. Still got a ways to go. Ooh, free stuff. More fuel. Awesome. Alright, so I've got plenty of fuel now. Made it out of Hybras. Another Reach Marauder. Gotcha. And more gossip. Not great, but it's better to fight them than to flee, because there's more chances for them to get you something or to push you into a situation where you're up against 2 opponents or more. It's better to clear them out. And like I said, gossip is a pretty useful thing in multiple places. If I can find a way to forge ministry stamp permits, that would be amazing. Should be straight up north and then up north. yeah, once we're done with this, we'll curve up to Titania, Port Avon, Traders Wood, Carillion, and Lustrum. We're gonna make a full circuit all the way to Port Prosper. That way we can get at least for sure one ministry stamp permit. At least one. Do you hear that? Something's up ahead. There's something out there. Okay, you two have fun with that. It's like a freaking laser gun on that guy. Oh, shoot. I zipped when I should have zagged. But we made it. Alright. Let's see. A hunting party. An opportunistic ranger smiles a multi-toothless grin and shows off his many scars from the beasts of the nature reserve. Sure, let's try that. What's going on? Join the hunting party or reduce our terror. Let's join that hunting party. That did not go well. Gained 2 terror. You head into the reserve ready to stalk your prey only to find it ready and waiting for you. In a desperate chase later, you find yourself hiding behind a bush as something sniffs there. Thankfully, losing your trail and heading back to its den. Alright, let's see. Did you gather that port report? Dropping off a settler. Alright. We are late. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to drop everything just for you. Oh yeah, I've already talked to them about that. Capabilities Inquest, the base of research. Phlegmatic researcher, what did he want? Wings of a chorus derby, ants, Hybras pus. Cage catch to the superior researcher. She claps her hands when she sees what you've brought her. It's been too long since I've got my hands on a half-decent vector. I shall have to let it loose in the reserve when we're done here. Now, tell me everything. She smiles serenely when you finish. Luckily for us, this fungus is a lesser intelligence, severed from one infinitely greater. Its methodologies are undoubtedly crude, as you'll see if you'll just step this way. Alright, let's watch the demonstration. The pernickety factor steps outside, complaining of a sudden headache. My sight's gone all woozy, most distressing. The superior researcher does not notice the interruptions. She hands you a watering can, for when it's over, and a poker. You probably won't need it, before unlocking the cage. She picks up 2 samples of mushrooms in her hands, the violet crocus and the golden cap, like molten butter, and advances on the creature. Let's watch this. The creature lets out a low moan as she begins applying the purple fungus to its flank. Slowly but surely, the flesh begins to stir as pores gently sprout. A scar heals before being overrun with new pods. Quickly, the can! As the fruiting beast is doused, this researcher quickly applies the golden fungus. Alright, so what's the conclusions? We're lucky in that this is a lesser mushroom, an unworthy mushroom indeed. I might go so far as to say a mushroom that should never have spored. She glares at the flaking purple fungus on her desk. This is one of the verdants, albeit a very corrupted one. It has healing properties, though. Its horizons are very limited. They like to collect things. She rubs a bit of golden sleep from her eyes. If you want to find what happened to your colonist, look for a very large fungus on Hybras. Believe me, there'll be one. The rest will become apparent. Okay, kinda creepy. Well, we have everything, so let's turn in our research. The wing of a chorister bee. You are thanked for your efforts and asked to wait while the company sorts out your rewards. It might be a couple of days. Later, the phlegmatic researcher calls upon you. He hands you an envelope of sovereigns. Hideous creatures, choristers, he says, fidgeting in his chairs. But I cannot accept that it is only by chance their wings are so exquisitely articulated that they generate song. Hand in the ants from the homestead. You are thanked for your efforts, and we get our rewards. He invites you over for tea. Marvelous creatures, he says, passing you an envelope of sovereigns from the company. As far as I can discern, they only seem to mind when a human is about to die. I wonder what it is about us. Soon the phlegmatic researcher summons you to collect your reward. He hardly waves his cane in greeting when you enter. Awful stuff, he frowns. No redeeming virtues. Alright, perhaps not. Albert's Adil. Let's go on a quick trip into the reserve. Get some sky stories. Bronzewood. I don't need bronzewood. Not yet, at any rate. We'll buy some more. Just a couple. And then we're going to just ensure the game saves for us. And then we are going to bid you good day. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.